$600. $600 to Oklahoma City. I hate Oklahoma. I hate Oklahoma.
The most expensive thing about living in LA is going home for the holidays. I just spent $500 on a flight to Ohio. I could have went to Hawaii for cheaper. If one yam is overcooked, I will be sending an invoice to every single family member.
I've got a very real question for you. I've had company in town for 4 days, and today is the last full day, and I am exhausted. Like, I have been cooking and cleaning and baking and cooking and cleaning for 4 full days. I know I'm expected to get up and entertain today, and I don't have it in me. Like, do it. Or do you? Or is 5 full days too long for someone to be visiting your house?
I hope I'm not the only one who feels like this, but does anybody else feel like the holidays are not giving holidays? So, funny story, not even funny story. So every year I usually make the mac and cheese, and I always do a good job because I always, do the same recipe, do the same thing. But this year I bought, like, from Gordon Food Service, I bought like store-bought mac and cheese. You just gotta bake it. Like, I don't feel like making mac and cheese this year. I don't feel like baking it at all. Like, I don't feel like putting my foot in it this year. Now, it sounds bad, but I don't know am I the only one for, like, this year that just doesn't feel like in the spirit? Even the last couple years, I haven't feel in the spirit of, like, holidays, like, at all. Like, come on, I can't be the only one.
I absolutely hate Christmas, and I want to know if anyone else feels the same way I do. Let me start this video by saying I actually do love the holidays and I love Christmas. I just hate Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. The reason is because my parents are divorced and so are my fiancés. So it is quite literally the movie for Christmases. Just even Christmas Day, we have so many places to go to that it's really hard to actually just enjoy the holiday with your family. I'm just always kind of stressed and thinking about where we're going to next. It makes me actually kind of quite anxious thinking about it. Like, the one thing I wish in the world is to wake up on Christmas morning and just stay in the same house, not have to leave, just chill, vibe with your family. And I'm so envious of the people who can just wake up and do that. It's not my reality, and I have a feeling that's not many people's reality. So, like, do you guys feel the same way? Because I'm starting to really resent the holidays.
Can somebody tell me why I hate holidays? I don't like that it's Easter today. I feel super anxious. I feel pressure. I turned the holiday over to the rest of my family. I was like, hey, you guys can do this. And they did. They got some Easter basket stuff, and it was really nice of them. And I appreciate that. And they're going to make a meal later. But I just all day long feel super anxious about this. I want it to be over. And I feel this way on birthdays, Mother's Day and Father's Day. It's almost like I can't even catch my breath right now. I don't know what it is. Can someone diagnose me? I just feel this pressure on my chest just because the calendar says that it's a holiday.
Looking like absolutely trash and also looking like Rudolph, but I just have it in my heart to really share this with you guys. I don't like being vulnerable, and especially not on social media, but holidays are right around the corner. I mean, Thanksgiving is next week. If you know someone or are friends with someone that doesn't have a place to go for the holidays, whether or not you want to invite them to your home to celebrate, at least check up on them, because sometimes it can be really hard mentally to get through the holidays. For example, for me, I come from a broken home, and holidays just always pissed me off. I had a lot of anger in me because, like, you see people celebrating with their loved ones and having family, and I didn't, so it did hurt. And God blessed me with just an amazing best friend that I met in college, and she took me into her home, and not everyone has that, and I completely understand that. But yeah, just check up on people that you know that are not doing well in the holidays, whether it's a broken home or they lost family or anything. Just make sure that they're okay. But that's all I had. I hope that made sense.
Christmas used to be like my favorite holiday. Not liked. I loved Christmas because I got to see the just joy in my kids' faces, seeing the Christmas lights, seeing the house all decorated, the smell of Christmas cookies, the smell of Christmas dinner, the joy you would see in your kids' faces. Like, seeing my kids happy is like the one thing that brings me the most joy. And I love that about Christmas. And this year, I don't get to spend Christmas with my kids, and that sucks. And it sucks for me, and it sucks for them, and I could care less if it hurts me. I just don't like when things hurt my kids, and that's not fair to them. I love them so much, and I wish I could spend Christmas with them. I wish I could seeing Christmas lights. I wish I could have gotten the spirit to decorate. I don't have the will to do it. I don't I hate Christmas right now. Like, I literally hate Christmas, and I just wish it would be over. That is not what Christmas is about. I don't get me wrong, Christmas is about Jesus and stuff, but like, to me, it was always about family and the joy on their faces. Like I said, I could really care less if I got presents. I just like watching them open their gifts. Now, when I was a kid, I loved opening presents and stuff, you know, and so as much as I loved that as a kid, I wanted that for my kids, and so I would love seeing the joy in their faces from it. I put up Christmas lights and stuff like that because I loved seeing the joy in their faces, seeing the Christmas lights. I hated putting Christmas lights up and taking them down. Like, I hated it, but I did it for them, and I just really miss my kids this Christmas. But I don't want to take this video and make it all depressing for you guys and everything like that. I guess I'm just talking on my feelings and all that fun. Don't let my video get you down. But to the people who also have a hard time liking the holidays, I understand you. You're not alone, and I believe it gets better.
Okay, so is it just me, or is this whole holiday thing, like, are you just over it? Like, I'm over it. I've been over it for a while, and I think that now that I'm no longer with the father of, you know, my kids, it's even more of an eye-opener how, like, just brainwashed the entire thing is, and how it really doesn't reflect love, and how most of the time, like, when people, when holidays start coming around, isn't like one of the biggest jokes, like, oh, the family's gonna start getting together, there's gonna start being fights and chaos and all this other stuff. And then you also have the aspect of, like, you know, everybody trying to, like, hurry up and buy everything. Hurry up and buy. No, but, like, literally struggling to just try to prove a point that, oh, I can have, like, you know, my kid's going to have the best Christmas ever. And you're literally going crazy, struggling to pay bills, and at the same time, sitting here buying a whole bunch of shit you know you're going to end up throwing away anyway. Like, and then, oh my God, I'm going to start on Thanksgiving. Why do we need to cook all this food? Like, why and literally everybody's eating the same thing. And, like, Thanksgiving's such a holiday. Like, I don't understand why people like it so much. I've always thought it was kind of up, you know, and then now, like, there's so much more knowledge coming out, and there's so much, like, people are realizing how of a holiday it is. Like, we're literally celebrating death, but we're going to just eat about it. We're going to eat about it and pretend like none of that ever happened. You know what I mean? Like, it's just never really been for me, you know? And it's funny because BD made a comment like, oh, you know, trying to work overtime so we can, you know, do Black Friday and, you know, get outfits. And one, we're not together. Two, it's just crazy that, like, okay, I'm going to skip overtime with the kids to make more money. And, like, that's one of the things that made me start thinking about it too. Like, I've been thinking about it since last night. Think about it all the time, but, like, last night into this morning when I woke up, I was just like, you know, because I don't want to celebrate it, and I'm trying to get the fat of it, but it's like, and then I have the kids and trying to help them feel normal, and, you know, everything's still the same, and I'm just, like, in a position where I'm like, I don't know, am I losing my mind? Am I being bitter? Or is just really just overrated thing that we really have no business doing? Like, is anybody else feeling like this, or is it just me? Am I going crazy?
Welcome back to the van. I realize that Thanksgiving is coming up, so I need to start thinking about food. Not food that I'm going to celebrate the day with. It's going to be a normal day, but the store will be closed for other people to celebrate. I don't really do much for holidays. I like February 15th because all the heart stuff goes on sale, and that's what I like the most. I only celebrate Christmas for, like, my parents. I try to do something for them because they birthed me or raised me, but otherwise it's a capitalistic holiday, and I don't want to give people crap that they're not going to need. Like, you don't need another candle or a throw blanket, and if you wanted one, go buy one. And I like to gift people, like, throughout the year randomly to make that just a random day special versus the government telling me that I need to, like, spend all of my money and go into debt for no. And I don't like receiving gifts. My mom was just on vacation or for her anniversary down in Texas, and she called me up and she's like, I'm at this really cool store. Would you like something, like a mug, a shirt, or whatever? And I was like, no, please. Do not bring me back anything. I would take a shirt just because, like, I don't have enough clothing. I wear my clothing out, and so I have a very, you know, small, but a knickknack, I can't stand it. I do not want something that I'm to use. And she's like, you know what? Your dad said you wasn't going to want anything. I was like, that's, but, you know, thanks for thinking of me. And that means more than anything. And I was always one of those kids that grew up with, like, not having a big Christmas. I got hat, mittens, and socks and shoes for Christmas. And then when you go back to school, you have all the little rich kids getting their PlayStation 15s and, you know, their brand new name clothing, and they got all these cool toys. And as the poor child, you feel like, and then your parents feel like, because they can't provide you with all of these crazy luxuries. And It builds character. So don't feel bad if you're that, because it builds character. And if you really want to teach your kid about the spirit of giving and giving back, take them down to the homeless shelter and volunteer. And that will make them thankful for their life that they have at home, where they don't have to volunteer every single day. And I don't want to be invited anywhere. My family knows that. If I wanted to go somewhere for the holidays, I would go. I would just go. I would show up and be like, Auntie Farah's here, but I don't. I would rather just stay home and be by myself, and I'm totally okay with that. And they know that. And so it will just be another day for me. It's just another day. I don't need the government telling me that I have to go spend time with my family on this day because they allotted me the time. And so yeah, don't feel depressed about the holidays. They're just a regular day.
If you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing, sharing the video, and giving it a thumbs up. Until next time, take care.